my god, it's still taking. Turn it off. Come back.
Our living community.
Of course. Is the one who have the key of the paradise.
Yeah, right.
But the real name, the original name, Quechua name, is Achuma. Achuma. That in Quechua means disease.
A trance.
Yes. Like when you are on the boat, you get sick disease, right? Seasick. So some people say Achuma because you're drunk.
So you look drunk.
If you can pay attention, we're about 150 meters high for all the area of Pachacamac. First of all, these guys, talking about the Incas, built this temple in a higher place. First of all, to be closer to our God, Father Sun, Mother Moon.
Try to look holy here.
Yes, very holy. That's important.
It's 4 different cultures: Lima, Ichma, Wari, and finally Inca.
So when the water drains down.
See the shape of the big ones?
Yeah.
The head and the body.
Okay.
Rather excited just now. I love that there are thingies because it looked as if east was that direction as far as you can sit there, but it's actually quite a lot. Goodness gracious me!
We have also treated water to refill your bottles.
Oh, it's a big boat. Hello. Oh my god, it's my wife. Here we go. It's a movie. Wow.
Goodness gracious me!
It was like plastic.
It was 2:30. Is this ours?
Yeah.
There's no way stuff?
Monkeys ate them and dropped the shell.
The monkeys ate
Monkey loved it. Tarzan Bang. Tarzan Bang.
the ridge.
280 kilos in weight.
Wow.
What does he eat?
It's a herbivore.
Tourist.
Herbivore.
I'm taking a movie of him.
Yeah, you can see him really well looking out there. It didn't even blink. I think it's real.
I saw him climb out. Oh, there's
Oh,
the
you
two
did?
together, yeah.
Look at the guy.
wait, I don't have the boots.
Hold on, I'll check it. Go
I
ahead,
need the
I'll check
boots.
it. Momentito. Oh, yeah.
Another one with Fred in the picture.
Would you stand up? No, I want to take this.
Have a nice
There
day,
goes the
yeah?
brave.
Have a nice day here.
Good luck.
Traveling with gringos. I can't believe it.
Gringos.
Gringos. Konnichiwa.
Bye.
And then,
Oh my
scream.
God.
Wow! Like that, the jaguars can run.
You can actually stand there for 10, 15
when the
minutes
people-
facing off of the jaguar.
When the people, jaguars look
While
at
you
you and
pee.
you looking after
While
that you
you
go on
pee.
because
Yes,
you're scared,
yes.
In your
jaguars come behind you. Because you're one press for the jaguar. The people never go run. Climb in the tree, no good because jaguar just climb in the tree.
Yes.
No, it's better to go stop and look. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sorry in my pocket.
Yesterday you go to other place, not the same.
It wasn't the same termite tree?
Termite nest everywhere.
This is really bad. It's like worse than last night. I'm stuck in the mud with Carol Markowitz behind me. Getting stuck too.
Where the leaf.
Yeah, the leaf is gone.
The people in this area, they use the leaves for the leaves here.
Oh,
Your lips.
lipstick.
The
Leaves
labios.
are also for the hair in the eye
Okay.
or in the nails. Kashapon, that's palma tree, huh?
But it's not sharp?
That's palma tree. That's sharp here.
Oh.
All this is the roots.
It's okay to touch.
This is a walking
Gentle.
palma tree.
It walks, huh?
Walking palma tree. do you understand bola de toro?
No. Oh, so balls of the bull.
Bowl of the bull, huh?
Oh. Yeah, a lot of this is in the works. All the way over.
Very good for the fever. The people use for the medicine, this level plant.
Very good.
It's called the Phalasatinus.
This tree, they make a symbiosis relationship with the ants. In that tree, live in fire ants.
Oh.
Yeah, the tree they has little hole inside. The ants live in there. The tree they has like a sabia or the sap
Sap, yeah.
on the tree. Yeah, the ants eat that one. If these small ants, they protect the tree. Nothing go close the tree. Yeah, in the jungle it's very easy to recognize this type of the trees because when you see one tree in the jungle like that one, there's the justice tree. There's fire ants. Many years ago, yes.
How big are the fire ants? Are they
Okay.
quite big?
There's ants, see.
Oh, those. Right, yeah.
Many years ago, in this area, the locals, the indigenous, they used the tree for the make jungle justice. In the small community, in the small village, the people there in the community live about 100 or 200 people. There is somebody's very bad persons, or like adulterers, no, or like sometimes some people steal something or rob something. the leaders of the community catch those persons and then call all the people from the community. They show. Corteza is the bark.
Oh,
Bark.
bark.
Bark, the tree.
Yeah.
Corteza en español.
Costeza.
Corteza.
Corteza.
Corteza es en Spanish,
Se
the
llama
name of
corteza.
the bark. Yeah. La gente indígena
The indigenous people.
utilizaban la corteza
Yeah, they
para
use the
hacer
bark.
ropa.
For clothing. They take the bark and they make clothing out of it.
Yeah. This is the people not supposed to wash. Yeah. The name of the tree is yanchama.
Yani chama.
Yanchama. This tree has only 20 meters tall. 20 meters.
Wow.
150 years old. Yeah. 150 years old. Yanchama.
And it got replaced by Nike.
It's like
All this is water. Water, all this one.
Do you eat the meat
Cut
though?
this one, I'm gonna drink water. And then when the water's gone dry, this is come soft like gelatina.
gelatin.
Like gelatin. A little bit soft, and then people go eat. Use the spoons. Eat. After a little bit more hard, it's like potatoes, and kind of boil in the water. Go eat.
Nice taste.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is how they,
Yeah.
touch it, yeah.
Yes. Some people make like
Snacking,
this.
yeah.
Like this one, huh? Or the other people make like this. Like this one. Like this for put and roof the house.
Look at this. Like that.
Yeah.
Layers.
The other persons use the leaves like this one. Put cut this way. This way. It go like this. Sometimes used for decoration. This one, like this one. Okay. No? Like this. Oh, now open all this one and they use like this one for the roof too.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes the locals, when they have one special day for making jungle custom or jungle culture, they use for dance this one, the leaves, to make a skirt, no, like this, no, or use for the head, like corn,
Right.
like
like
this one,
crown,
yeah. When there's phrase on a green leaf,
Put that on your head again.
yarina, sorry.
Put that on your head again.
Honey, would you wear that as a skirt?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put in the head.
How you doing, baby?
Oh, wait.
All right.
Wait.
Jefe.
Oh, a wonderful
Put-
smile.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second.
Hang on.
Momentito.
We got to get this.
Elmer El Jefe.
That's the local name. The scientific name is Diphtheryx, English name is iron tree.
Iron tree.
Iron tree. This type of the tree is very tallest trees in the jungle. Grow about 60 or 70 meters tall.
Wow.
Yeah. If this iron tree, it has 55 meters tall now. Yeah, 550 years old. That's tree.
500 years old.
550
Yes.
years old.
Which is very old. Look, animals come drying out the wood. Well, this iron tree is good for the wood. In this area, people use for many different constructions, rustic constructions, for example, like in the bridge. And too hard wood. Too hard, it's like metal.
Oh, that's why they call it
And
iron.
also it's very heavy. For example, when you catch a little piece of wood and then throw it to the river, this goes sink. Not kind of flat. Doesn't go sink. No? It is the iron trees for the locals, for indigenous, that's the god. Yeah? Or the people call like a father of the jungle. Why the people call like that? Why the locals, indigenous say, this is our god? Why? Because that tree, they protect all the jungle. They protect all the small trees, they protect animals, and they protect the local people.
Beautiful.
How this tree protect people? Because in the rainy season, not here, in other place, the lightning, they kill the people, kill the trees. Sometimes when they get in the house can burn, or sometimes kill the animals.
It won't
Yeah?
kill it.
So here in the jungle, not because this tree, they attract the lightning. For example, this
Like a
tree,
lightning rod.
normally, gets the lightning come like this. Here in the floor, in the soil, the lightning is block there. No fire, the lightning will not kill the tree. Because it's one special tree here in the jungle. There's the locals say Papa de la Selva. The locals never
Father
cut
of
the
the
trees. Yeah, the indigenous never cut the big trees.
Beautiful.
The locals go to the tree, something like it's like an ayahuasca ceremony in the jungle. Go to the tree, they're like this, like this, like this one,
Yes.
and the tree gets energy. Yeah, very energetic tree. That's iron tree. Also, there's a magnetic tree. Magnetic. When the people use the compass not work very well. People make one big circle in the tree, walk around the tree.
Worship the
Because
tree.
all the time they tree, following the compass like this.
Wait up.
Yeah, it's very special tree here in the jungle.
And we've gone about 1/7 of the way.
That much. And this was the short trip we took.
Yeah.
Also, the people use this one like a good luck, and I keep in the wallet on the pocket. Yeah?
Okay.
And tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's like pieces of scrap.
It is good.
One day I was working in the summer as a welder.
Yeah.
Really, I started putting stuff together and made a movie that I would write it on. So
The French one, the French Indian one.
me and Nate, I made stuff out of concrete pipes and stuff. Okay, when you get to that.
Yeah, there's another one up there. Here comes another guy.
Oh, here comes another one.
That's a banana.
Dice la vieja ahí nomás sentado ya, come ya, no se mueve ya. Hay uno, allá tiene hay uno.
That's a greedy one.
I like this guy. This is the younger, huh? The other one's much bigger. Like, excuse me?
Okay.
They don't move very much, Fred. How much video do we need?
So why is it called?
Colors of the plate, more color.
Okay.
Who's coming? I heard that's what they do for us. That's what the judges for us. I wouldn't be aspirin and caffeine. I wouldn't be going down. It's going to be harder on my
The good thing about coming.
We've been sort of focusing on India all these years and stuff, which has been great. He's paid for, invited us to come with us and said he would pay. And so we figured.
When do they have their
You
baby?
could take a crash course. Oh my.
In fact, is this a...
Travel dogs, they just get
The song that Leon Russell does, Jumping Jack Flash.
Just flies.
Oh, so even if you went straight, it would have come to the same place?
No.
Oh.
They went to the water and then walked along.
All on the Maya Key Day.
Well, your dinner is at 7 o'clock too. Yeah,
Dinner's at
7 o'clock. Or tomorrow leaving. Well, maybe they manage to tell you about tomorrow. What time leaving tomorrow?
Okay. Now you can take your.
Really lovely. Lovely little band. Well, you have to hire a guy, okay? Well, I guess we could scan it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can. Go behind. Duck your head because he's taking Yeah.
You are in the sanctuary of Ollantaytambo. It's not a single small place, it's a big place that was created by our ancestors. The tourists are going over there, as you can see, but I would like to consider you not as tourists, if possible, if not people that are having other connection, spiritual working than the tourists. Okay? In a sanctuary, symbolically and in fact, if you're going in, you have to be clean, you have to be purified. So the first step will be coming here to receive the blessing, the purification, and then you will be led, you will be guided to go to discover much more of all that. Now, just that. It's for creating a mechanic effect, for breaking the speed of the water, slowing down, and like that the water will move around and will fall in the position that the masters they wanted to touch the water and to receive the blessing. But there is another incredible phenomenon that happens here during the sunset of December solstice. When the sun is setting in this position more or less, and the sun illuminates the fountain, because the surface, because the protuberance, because all these different steps that they did, the sun will provoke an amazing shadow. The sun will define the shadow of a priestess, and the priestess is extending her hands for the water to fall on her hands. Look at that, the profile. Look at that, the profile. Is a priestess, and look at that, the protuberance that comes here and the water comes down. What happened is that the Christians didn't understand that. They abandoned, and this was far off the capital. The capital was Cusco. Cusco was very much damaged, but many places, remote areas survived, and nobody understood that. I discovered the phenomenon in 1998. The old picture with dark hair, that's a picture 6 years ago with white hair. So that I am doing the parallel after discover all this, which is an amazing phenomenon.
Muy guapo.
Well, here we have the example of this amazing work on the stone. But if people come along, stone, so they will never really get the connection. And it's difficult if you didn't experiment. So I didn't discover everything, but I was discovering a lot of things, and this is why by experience I know. So it's not somebody who was just telling me. For the anthropologist. And as the students were saying, prisons, which with huge windows, huge doors for the prisoners being enjoying the view of the valley and everything that exists.
How nice for those prisoners.
Yeah. But anyway, the history, especially in this nation, is made by different kind of people, and between these different kind of people, there is a group specialist in creating a history, the history. And this group specialist, especially, is the group of the anthropologists. So they had an incredible you know, imaginations, prisons. And studies were proving that those places were silos, storage,
Silos.
for grains and all that. Right now, it's calm here. Right now, it's okay, but in different hours, the wind in the afternoon, especially the wind, is blowing. So higher is very strong. So reasons enough in order to preserve longer or better certain grains or other products. So it was a reason that they did. If you read the official history, it will be that. The official history is calling this place fortress. Because the historians, when they see the pictures, the historians from the sea level, that they are suffering going to a mountain, and if they come here to the mountains, the lack of oxygen is interfering with the brain, so they will not have objectivity to understand really, and they will name just like that fortress without having any idea of what's all about. And if we ask the question, fortress, to defend what? The mountain? The rocks behind the mountain? To defend what? Gold? Our ancestors never fight for gold. Silver or treasures? They had enough. They didn't fight for that, never. So, fortress to defend what? So they don't have the answer. But anyway, you have to understand the historians are very close of these anthropologist groups, and they are the ones who are creating the history here. And of course there is a reason that our ancestors they create. It's like to be next to very important formations, and I remember that once in Fairfield they invited us to go to the day that the bandits they were chanting. Yeah, they invite us, and then we went and they were chanting in a place that lingam was growing.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, right.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Amana. Oh, yes.
They
The
invited
ice.
us and they took us there, and that was the morning of the celebration, the chanting and all that. What is happening there? Because it's somehow divine phenomenon where huge energies are concentrated to facilitate easy work. So it's a reason that the water is there, it's a reason that Machu Picchu is there, that we will be discovering tomorrow. And sure, I use very much the power places to do our personal work. Our planet is a beautiful planet, and our planet has a lot of the energy and the polarities in order to provoke human insights or facilitate different personal work. And we are very much like the planet, or the planet is very much like us in a multidimensional way. According to the physical law, the opposites need to be together. But it's impossible for the brain and the heart to be together in this anatomy. So then, the heart and the brain is connected through the blood. The blood is making energy, electricity, oxygen all together, and then our body is manifest in harmony, or this unity has this shape. Our planet is very similar, and then we have the North Pole and the South Pole. And those, which represents the polarity in our planet, are radiating such a power, and physically they should be together, but they can't because of the geography. So they start radiating, and then they connect the magnetic fields that we know, the magnetic fields. So the planet just irradiates powerful energy. In the same time, our planet follows the sun, and following the sun, that creates a parallel in our center, and the center of the planet is the equator. So the equator makes parallels. So each time that this magnetic field vertical with the magnetic field that is created because the parallel of the equator, each time that the vertical and the horizontal are crossing, is producing magnetic explosions around our planet. But in the same time, our planet is so precious, so rich, and the geography is also impacting that, and the most important parts in our planet, geographically talking, are the mountains. This is why in many of these magnetic fields that are around our planet are connected to geographic points, mountains especially, number one, and other parts, valleys, jungles, etc. But the mountains are very important. So each time that a mountain is attracting and connecting the magnetic fields, that is provoking a geomagnetic point. It's not only just a magnetic explosion, it will be a geomagnetic point. A geomagnetic point is a power place. And those we have many in the planet. Some are more important than others, but we have many in the planet. And one of the amazing walls that was here was destroyed by the church to use the stones for the church. We also had here 10 incredible niches here that was so beautiful and perfect that the church used it. Because that was much easier to destroy and then survive this part. Listen, listen. So can you imagine 10 niches here, 10 other niches over there, and can you imagine 10 or 20 specialists tuning, chanting, invoking what this could create as atmosphere and
Jai Gurudev. This is amazing.
how this is amazing, but they were so brutal. So ignorance that they need to kill virgins or they need to kill animals for gods. Gods exist only for the local mentality. Masters, they don't have gods. Teachers, they don't have gods. This is just what's within you. This is a tribal thing. Let me give you an example, easy to understand that. During the 70s, between Switzerland and to France, radical sects, the solar sect, they were killing themselves in ritualistic positions because they wanted to go to another dimension. The bodies remained there, logistically placed. 15 years ago was still visible the comet in the North Hemisphere. A radical group in the United States killed themselves to follow the comet. 15, 18 years ago. Remember?
Yeah.
And during the governance in any other nations right now, they are killing people. Imagine if we are returning in 3 centuries later, 5 centuries later, and we arrive to the United States, and we discover the position of the bodies of these that have been killing systematically and all that, and we will start elaborating our theories. Look at that, in the government of Clinton, they had so many problems that they needed to offer to their gods sacrifices to have peace with the Taliban and all that. And in question if we want to stop hungry of community, if it's for planting potatoes or corn, I don't need to do that. Potatoes and corn are growing everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't need to do that to pretend that I will have more production of potatoes or corn. Because to do that, I don't need to do some kind of sophisticated work like all this. It's not needed. So we will see that we have a different approach. So here, some of the historians, they are just referring to that side only, say, oh no, let's have better potatoes or better corn. You can use for sure to select and to produce different kind of quality of produce. For sure you can do that, but it will be not only that as a purpose, it will be something else. Because the energy that this place is producing, because the human profile, because the cardinal distribution, etc., because 7 circular terraces, because 12, if we add the others that are not making a perfect circle, but is making 12, it will be a progression of things. And the number 7 is very important, the number 12 as well. So we're talking about adding different vibrations. And all this has to do with ancient technologies, which is impregnate something with geometries, with vibration, and this will help already to change a product and the ones who are also working there. In producing and working in all their temples and palaces, having alignments with important moments of the year, because that will help already to increase certain things. And in places like that, sure, masters, they will be chanting, invoking mantras in the Andean world to produce or to increase the vibration. And like that, the result for products will be amazing. You know, to having better corn if you want, okay. Better potatoes, that's okay. Having the best quinoa, having the best flowers, the best power plants, etc. Or experimenting how to produce something else.
Or medicinal herbs or whatever.
Yes. And you have to remember that what you eat now, certain products were invented here, were created here. Potatoes in the origin were poisonous.
Oh, really?
Yes. The Andean genetist transformed it in eatable. Quinoa with varieties as well.
Here from this angle. Oh yeah. Oh.
Telling you full light?
Yeah. This is like going to the Raj.
Yeah. But as mentioned, after a few seconds that we did the bushes, then the city showed it to us. Yeah. To give after a few centuries is still, you know, remarkable. So I am sure that in the beginning that was perfect.
Oh, what a beauty, eh? That's perfect. Would you take a picture like that?
Yeah. The access of water to the place, and after a few weeks, was done. Because if you don't have water, how you could survive, Madame?
Like a sea.
Decided with that point when the Incas. karma in some way.
Do you see this structure that looks as a pillar? Okay? So in the upper part here, the upper part is carved. Here in the upper part, like this, is carved. Why? Because the architects, they were planning to put here a trunk resting here, right into the corner, to have the base for the roof. The same, another piece from here to here, and again the roof. That part was already done, but here not yet. Look at that here. The architects, they define, until here, you have to cut. Do you see the line? So until that line, you have to complete the carving in order for the trunks that they were planning to fit, but they didn't finish. Come here. There's the line. They come here. So the architects, they told to the workers, until that line, you have to complete little by little. Here, they couldn't act through the fissure. If not, the rock will collapse. So they needed to polish, to remove little by little until that line, they finish. So when the engineers, they were planning this area, the building, it's very sure that because this is a unique kind of architecture in this part of Machu Picchu, the calculation about the foundation was not so precise. So far that in the time, it was a separation. Look at that. It's being separated. But anyway, this separation is showing to us something unique. The concave and convex. Look at that, how perfect it's this and the other piece to unite. When you have a work like that, that shows to you really precision and perfection in the work and everything. Again, who was doing this? The one who was cutting the grass? Because the number 3 in not just sacred geometry, but in magic as elements, the number 3 represents the triple flame, the sacred fire. And in June solstice we have a phenomenon here, and this phenomenon is related also to this stone. Because when the sun illuminates this projects the shadow, and the shadow is making the square cross shape here on the ground. Very interesting. So this being is the most important part of the city. And we know that this piece was under transportation because under this we have some carvings. And we saw that with mirrors and with the pictures. Here they were doing a magnificent tower. They did the base, the foundation, not the upper part. Look at that. This is around, it's a tower, but this is just the foundation. They didn't complete it. And because this is toward the west, probably they were planning in this tower to create a door or to create a window from where the window will be coming in important days of the year as the sun will be setting, illuminating something to produce a magic phenomenon or something like that, but they didn't finish. They had all these kind of stones to roll. So that was the beginning of the rolling stone. Because it's so special, they planned and they did it, the first arrival of water in a very systematic way or in a very succession to connect one place to another, the water fountains that we saw recently, isn't it? Above, you have the roof. Do you see this roof? Yeah, that was restored. That was restored, the roof. Yeah. That construction has only 3 walls with a big sofa. 3 walls with a big sofa is a place to invite you to sit and to do your breathing. Be aware of this important element. And next to you have the water, because the water also activates part of your memories and then your work will be much complete. And then the upper part, you have this window that is allowing the sun for the June solstice when it rises to go inside to illuminate the altar. The sun represents the fire. And here we have under all this structure the cave that represents going to Mother Earth, to Pachamama. So in all this sector, we have the 4 elements and the number 5 as an activation for each who will be ready for it. So in a very symbolic way, they planned to create something beautiful. And inside of this cave, we have niches and we have cuttings on the rock, which is very esoteric. To understand that, really, we have to do meditation or connections to really understand them. Slowly. It's just mechanics. Also,
No, down here. Oh, this way. Follow that thread.
Follow that thread. Okay. Look at these niches. These could have been for offerings. Closets, you mean?
I have a walking technique I've developed.
We have the ruby-throated.
Is he ruby-throated?
This one's not, no.
No, this one just looks green.
Okay, here we have something special that somebody was asking about, and it's the type of To get here, we have two axes. One, the one that we use now, and there is another one in the other side. And we have this axis to get here, to see what, to do what, to see this structure over here. The main reason is that structure over there. That is the same structure, of course, that you have here, is the same. So the piece that you have there is the upper part of a solid rock, is the upper part. So in the origin, of course, that was a natural rock. And then when they saw that, they had the amazing intention to create an axis and to carve in the way that you see. That's a very sophisticated work, and the meaning is even more complex, because nobody could understand what was about. And since the beginning of the interpretation, when we started arriving to Machu Picchu, it was that this place, especially, was a sundial. It was a place to measure, to do calculations, but nobody could say how that was working, because not evidence, not studies about. Or I mean, even if people that tried to do studies, they couldn't arrive to a conclusion. So, in 1992, it happened to me an amazing phenomenon that I participate and I discover. In fact, in the opposite side of this polyedron, of this structure that we have here, in the opposite, this is east, okay? You saw the sun coming this way, so the sun is illuminated. This is east, this is the west. Toward the west, down, there is a table, there is an altar. Exactly where the gentleman is right now. Okay, look at that, he's doing the steps right now, okay? When he finished the steps, there is an altar over there. That's an altar, yeah, that's an altar. Yeah, that's the altar, okay? Where he stopped the last, this is an altar. So, in that altar, in the same way that this gentleman was walking through 7 steps, if any priestess will arrive there to the step number 5, what will happen is that this person will be just standing in a perfect position in the step number 5. So the position of this will be more or less like that. So she will be in the number 5 step. Imagine that this is the altar, the table, and this is the sun. Okay, and in between the sun and this altar is this structure here. You understand that? So yes. This structure is in between. You have the sun, you have the altar, and the priestess like that. So because the polyedron is higher in relation to the priestess that will be here, the table here, the polyedron here, and then the sun over there. So when the sun is rising, the sun will illuminate the polyedron. Sun rises, illuminates the polyedron. The sun continues going a little up, and then the first beams are coming over the top of the polyedron, and the ray comes to the forehead of the priestess that is there. to produce a solar initiation. So the phenomenon, it's amazing. The phenomenon is amazing how that happens. So the sun will produce a solar initiation in the Christus, or the disciple or the student who will be there, who will be guided to be there in the right time. After the sun produces this illumination in the forehead, the sun continues going up and the illumination comes down. In the moment that the sun arrives to the position of the heart, two little circles that exist on the altar, two little circles, are illuminated in a triangular shape. Two tiny circles. Two. When we see the altar, it suggests to be very much the shape of the puma, the cougar. So when the sun illuminates the two little circles, it's like illuminating the eyes in order to awake the power animal.
See, I took it off that.
Yeah, and now we are provoking again, but we need to have some cleansing from heaven.
Yes, it's good.
Very good. So after the two little circles are illuminated, that represents in the symbols that the power animal is awake. The power animal to teach about the strength, to teach about expansion, about recognition. The puma is the animal that teaches about all that. So, which is very interesting how that happens. So, this is an astronomic place, an initiatory center, a place of education, and a place that we've been using for a long time, really, for our meditation ceremonies and all that. And a year ago, again, they blocked the passage, because before we could circle, we could walk and to connect and do our personal relation around, but right now it's blocked, and this is forcing everybody just to do pictures and continue, non-stop there. That's why I am stopping here, because anyway, all this is having the energy, all there. Then, because this is the most important part of the city, I would like to invite you for a few seconds. Come a little closer like that, the others, they will be not bothering themselves. In a deep breath.
And
I didn't talk much about look at the profile of the mountain. This is Machu Picchu mountain.
Yes.
Yes. Look at the profile, okay? And look here on your left, the profile of the rock.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
They wanted to do a replica of the mountain. Imagination could be the representation of the eyes of the owl when you see, and because the symbolism of the owl is to see beyond, you know, beyond our own reality. Where are the wings? You have one here, another one here. Look at how amazing vision of these people to create such a place.
He's the one that came in the bus, right? He had that big bus, sort of traveling across country or something like that. Kind of like a hippie bus, yeah. These guys are the roof. Now, this is 1970. Now, I also worked in San Francisco for the post office. The one at the airport on the night shift.
Because in the white
Strap, yeah, we have it in the US.
exactly, yeah.
Now, do you collect all the droppings and compost for the garden?
Bambi! No. Remember that thing on the bus?
The white and black is alpaca. 1 year, only the first shave is baby alpaca. Only the first shave. Because it's very soft. 100 years. Species from Macaus. In this place, we have two species, no?
Typical Andes. Let's hear your song. Oh, very sweet. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Your wings.
Yeah, exactly. No? And they want to buy the animals for zoos or? No. For very intelligent and smart animal. And on the Peruvian Amazon, the people kill the macaws for their feathers, make hats.
And the ceviche we had was
It's for the
Andean
ceviche,
trout.
no? It's for the ceviche. Camel cat, no tail.
It's like a lynx.
No? Like a lynx, but more wild than pumas, more or less, because
More what than pumas?
because like the
Holy smokies.
Holy cannoli. Oh, he sees the guy coming.
Mexico powerful skills for the pumas. The chan, no? Mira, qué rico, salta.
Wait. Oh.
Is it too high?
Mufasa. There we go. Okay, go for it.
Oh!
Yeah.
And like Mufasa? Mufasa is the baby, Lexi.
Hey!
For a circus from Lima, no? They all
Okay. Come, people.
He's the one that you put. So maybe 1 year we can get it.
okay? Please. Let's see the Congo.
Whoa.
Él solo va a volar, ¿ya?
Machu Picchu mountain is a chain like a condor, you know? Huh? You can find many sculptures from pumas, from and let's see, the Incas calendar. See, the talons from the condor is like a tool.
You saw the puma already.
Fortress, the name for fortress is Pucara. So they complicate since the beginning this the interpretation for this place. And when we came, there is a gentleman with the green jacket over there who is working and cleaning. You see this about the real meaning, because they were following what somebody else was saying without using their brain to understand deeply what was.
In Cusco this morning has been the most powerful of the trip so far, and the bliss that we felt when we all got into the bus was just the manifestation of that. And I'd like that bliss and the depth of consciousness that is here permeate our family, our communities, our nations, and the whole rest of the planet.
I would like all blessings for our dear Malku for bringing us to this very subtle place, and asking Pachamama to bring heaven down to earth so that everyone can enjoy all the beauty and love that she has created for us in peace and harmony together. Jai Guru.
I would like to see more spiritual brothers and sisters created for us to have an ever-growing community of enlightened throughout the world.
I would also like to see Maharishi's desire fulfilled for heaven on earth. Jai Gurudev, and thank you so much to Malko for allowing us to have this amazing experience on so many levels.
I'd like to express my appreciation for the wonderful wisdom and knowledge that clearly the Incas created, and Malku has been a wonderful window to that knowledge, and I'd love to see it grow and flow to everybody who comes to this wonderful country, and so that mankind as a whole can grow in spiritual liberation.
Because you see how big, how deep they had. That's a job.
Yeah, they shape.
Oh, that dog is so sweet.
Are we supposed to lie in a circle like this? Do this thing? Are we being snow angels? What's the deal?
The aliens in.
We're calling in the aliens?
Big grand circle.
Curious, especially to learn much more of our capabilities, allowing our full memories to be present, and discovering the magic that still exists.
For example, here we have a temple. This is the largest Inca temple dedicated to Huiracocha.
Yeah. Okay, give me your. Please. Still with it, no problem. Okay, come on, come on. Be careful.
There's no hurry.
We're gonna have lunch. It could be better.
Look how clear the water is. Look how clear the water is. Wow. What good timing.
That was amazing. He didn't even touch the...
Beautiful, look at now. Yeah. You know what it's called? This flower? This flower is called watch me and not touch, please. Watch me and not touch, please. Be careful. Huh? Because it's poison.
Bienvenida.
I think it's here.
Esas cuatro negras le copian
pasando ahora, se va del todo. Vamos a tomar unos poquitos.
Well, it's like walking on a carpet, but...
Oh, this must be where we sit.
My memory for my phone.
Good. First, please. Flamingo.
Flamenco, the bird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking now, if you watch into this lake for the satellite, also Titicaca Lake, I mean, pure Mashai. I remember because I born here.
Oh, crisscross. Wow.
How big is the island? Only 3 meters, huh? Only 3 meters, including the root beer. This one is modern, new. It's called Uta. Uta. Shukla and Uta. And each island is a special observatory tower. Look now.
They want family.
Come on back.
See?
Okay, I've probably taken enough photos now just to enjoy them. Wow.
Oh my God.
What? Is it magic?
Far. They coming back. They coming back. Some 5. There are some 5 to coming back. More.
5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
Did you get that, Richard?
I got some of them.
Look at this guy coming in. You can see his head, you can see everything.
Okay, I'm going to stop this. If I see this now. Just enjoy. Did you have your hand or anything? Not great.
Wow.
So what do you reckon? 4 foot? 4.5 foot?
They said.
Yo, 10-foot wingspan, he said.
Ready
See if
for
it came out.
landing.
Oh my.
Oh, that was a big one. You know what? I think they are as big as. Oh, this one is big. Oh. I could stay here all day. Well, this really doesn't look. I think there's
Almost like it's looking for something like honey or something.
Okay, it likes your pet. All right, so.
Come on, baby. It's watching you. It's watching
There's the
you.
crest. So that's the male, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the crest you're talking about?
On the head.
On the head.
Look at the condor. There.
Oh, he was anyway.
Coming back. Hello, condor. This is female. This is female. Really close. This is very young male. Young male. So not really black. It's the other one. This is male. Male. Ooh, hello. Very close. Oh, what a camera.
That's a simple way of dealing with it. Oh, that's a nice one. Hi, Fred. Let's go. Educated.
Yeah.
But he hasn't figured out yet exactly what he wants to. Are you serious?
All right, come on, let's go.
Depends.
All right, I have to go. I have to go to the bathroom.
Apu, este Apu que tenemos al frente. This place is a place to.
That has the most power.
Este Apu.